This episode of Mission Start Podcast is brought to you by Anime 3000, scattercomics.com, and also My Dark Dreams at deviantart.com, where you can buy pixelated bead art as well as other cosplay materials. Let's go check out the sponsors and enjoy the show.
Mission start.
Hello, everyone. We are Mission Start Podcast, and a few things I want to say. Well, actually, first, let me go off and saying I'm your host, Anthony Vianis, and with me today for this very short but very exciting E3 special, we have Alex Darlin.
Oh, that's me. You can't enunciate for shit, man.
Well, I just woke up from a nap, so part of my words may be slurred. But awake enough to realize that our special guest from last podcast episode is back. So hey, say hi to the kids, Brendan.
Going good. Been blogging. I've been just waiting for E3 pretty much.
Yes. I think I finally realized the effort and the amount of E3 news that some people have to go through every year for some video game websites. I think I know how that feels after this past week. I've been uploading stories like crazy for the past couple of days, and then not to mention trailers that seem to pop up, especially Saturday, when I was surprised with. But anyways. First thing I wanted to get off my chest, the whole Fanime experiment of podcasting every day or trying to get something going on didn't quite work as well as I hoped. So let's just say 8 people in a room, or actually more than 8 people in a room, and trying to get a podcast to even to make it work in that environment wouldn't work at all.
Well, it would have worked if we had the equipment.
That's true.
Which we kind of didn't.
Yeah, that and well, I mean, I'm still behind on as far as video editing some of the stuff from Fanime and SatCon. So, dudes E3, but it will be up eventually. Pictures are up, review is up, so you can go check it out on the website. But aside from that, I think that we are here to. We're all excited for E3 coming up. It's a Sunday today, so it's coming up pretty much tomorrow, this upcoming week. And one of those press conferences, or at least prediction-wise for tomorrow, is going to be Microsoft press conference. There is the Natal press conference going on today, which we air on Tuesday, but I kind of don't really care. I mean, if more than anything, we'll see it tomorrow as far as they'll touch on as far as what Microsoft's gonna do.
Natal. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna go over to the Natal press conference today, just for the fact that it's gonna be touched upon tomorrow at the press conference. So guarantee that Microsoft is gonna talk about Natal in some sort of fashion. So it won't be no big surprise there.
Honestly, don't really care.
Yeah.
I anticipate them devoting a good percentage of their press conference to Natal, because last year they introduced it, and now we've had a year to get to know it somewhat and hear some rumors here and there, and now this is the time for them to really show what it's going to do.
Yeah, I mean, there are. See, I've heard some people saying that there's going to be kind of a Natal heavy press conference, and I mean, as much as I'd love to see Natal, I would rather still see more of the games that they're dishing out. I mean, given Natal is something completely new, completely something that Microsoft is pushing forward to go against the PlayStation Move and the Nintendo Wii, but it's I mean, it's just for me as far as like an attachment. It's just there. I mean, it's cool to have until you show me games that actually work like a killer app. What we might see, then I might get more excited for. But as of right now, I'm not as excited for as some people are about it.
Yeah,
I'm not
Natal,
excited at all.
I'm not excited at all either. I'm not going to be the first person to pick it up either. Like, if I'm going to buy it, I'm going to have to get some really good reasoning on why it's going to be good. And right now, I'm not very convinced.
Yeah, we really need like some feedback before we can consider this like worth any of our time at all. They'll have that at the conference, but
Yeah,
I just really don't trust anything that's basically just like a camera on the TV with a little extra junk to kind of make it work.
yeah. I mean, what it comes down to is that, I mean, given it's a great piece of technology that they're working on, but unless you sell me something with it or sell me something that would make me want to get it, a good game or in some sort of fashion, because like I can see down the road like the potential of this thing actually working, like say part of a game, it's like it's kind of like a mystery, and you instead of you pushing a button to pick up the item, you can actually use your hands to pick up the item, kind of rotate around, see kind of see it for yourself, or like in some way touch it for yourself, and kind of observe more, kind of ideas like that would be really cool. I mean, I'm still kind of excited about the whole Minority Report type of thing, but we have to wait and see. I mean, like, who knows? Somebody surprise the shit out of us and like show us some awesome killer app game or something for Natal tomorrow.
Yeah, I think it's mainly that Minority Report kind of thing. It seems like a good idea, but then you realize you really have no sort of tactile feedback. So you never really know if you've actually picked up what you're supposed to pick up, or if you hit the quote unquote button right.
Yeah, I mean, for like I think when it launches, and like for the first few months, people are gonna look pretty stupid waving their hand in front of their face to move, scroll whatever on the screen wise. But like I'm hopeful that then it's all can be used in some sort of fashion more than a few things that makes it look cool.
It'd be really funny if they wound up having like a Natal Motion Plus.
Like like it's not responsive as the first one, but then like it's another add-on. So eventually you get this kind of little tower of motion camera right in front of your TV.
Probably not in front of you. More like the thing about it right now is that I just don't see it working because it's still with one camera. It's just the 2 dimensions. So if, like, say you had a camera that was like to the side, so it was actually seeing a little bit more depth.
Yeah.
Then I could see it working, maybe. But
yeah. Brendan, what's your thoughts on the toll for tomorrow?
I just want them to do a good job on it. I don't want to hate on Microsoft and say that their new technology is not going to work very well, but they really need to convince a lot of us that that this isn't just Microsoft's version of what the Wii's already doing. I've bought too many consoles on the first day to and I just have to be convinced.
I hear you. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see, and I'm hoping we don't see fucking Milo again tomorrow. I mean, like when that shit was shown last year, the first thing on everybody's mind, well, at least some people's minds, when that shit was showed, it's like, yeah, playing with a little boy on a camera and a video game, it kind of makes me feel a little uncomfortable here, man.
Yeah, perhaps
You don't
like
have vagina. There's a reason why they had a woman playing with.
Yeah.
it might be a little too ahead of its time right now. A lot of us are just not ready to try something different, as in Natal, and the Wii works for a lot of us, but having no connection at all to no tactile feedback is going to be
Right.
I wish I can explain it better, but I just love a control, and Natal doesn't have one.
Definitely.
Well, that's the thing. When you hit a button, you can feel yourself hitting the button. It's like that's what you did. Even if the controller is shit and it doesn't pick it up, you know that it didn't pick it up. But you know that you hit the button. If you're waving your hand in front of your face and it doesn't pick that up, you can't necessarily tell without doing it again like 3 times.
I hear you. There's nothing is more comforting for a gamer is have control over on a video game controller than something that they kind of have to make believe that they have in their hand. I mean, there is that sense of comfort for many gamers.
Yeah, plus the rumble pack and the different variations on how heavy the feedback is. Like that's the main thing that helps me like beat any kind of shooter game.
Right.
I'm not gonna have
The thing that I was kind of wondering is that, that feature in Natal that showed where if you scan pretty much anything, it would be replicated in the game. I wonder, like, say, I mean, this may be an idea pitch that, is free for anybody to grab and make a game out of, as long as they give me the credit. But, like, what if, say, you're playing a first-person shooter and you have a gun, or not a real gun, like a fake gun. Like you have a fake gun that you have the
airsoft people.
Yeah, the airsoft, like kind of have it scanned, and then when you play the game, you still have control of the gun, but whenever you move, the gun or your hands, like that movement that's you're doing outside the in real life is happening in the game. And you can still pull the trigger and you can, fire in the game and have that sense of control still. If they can nail something like that to that degree of what Natal can do, that would be awesome. That would be great.
Yeah, I didn't expect that one. See, here's
For
the
some
thing. Go on.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, for some reason, I have a feeling that someone's just gonna scan, like, an airsoft gun or like a BB gun and just pop their TV.
Of course, you have to make sure it's not loaded before you shoot, the airsoft gun.
Yeah, there is that too. But on the technical side of it, though, you gotta think it's going to be hard for a camera looking straight at someone to tell if they're pulling the trigger. Because even if it's a good webcam or whatever, it's still a two-dimensional thing, and if it doesn't notice that you're pulling that trigger, that one little second where you have to pull it again to get to really realize you're doing it could very well kill you.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, like, there is the fact that it could be the response time of how you pull the trigger and response time of how it is in game could determine whether you kind of, get killed or not, as far as, like, if a first-person shooter goes. Or for that matter, if you think about any other game that requires timing, that it could really affect the player.
Yes, and they only have to make the control, like, the recoil, so you're throwing up your gun every 3 seconds to shoot, and
Yeah.
eventually your wrist gets tired.
Yeah, eventually. Yeah. But we have to see. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, like, we'll see it tomorrow. It's going to be like 10:30 in the morning. I'll have to probably get some early shut-eye to watch in the morning. But we'll have to wait and see. But what I'm really interested in is what possible games or what big announcements could Microsoft have that hasn't already been announced already. Like the announcement of the new Mortal Kombat and the announcement of Itagaki's new game, Devil's Third. They're like, what do you guys prediction wise? Like, what games would you like to see or might be surprise?
I know they're going to be incorporating a lot of old Dreamcast games onto the, I guess you can call it the Virtual Console for 360. Specifically, for some reason, I just want to see them put on Phantasy Star Online and possibly maybe Shenmue, because those two games have been really popular on Dreamcast. In addition to Jet Grind Radio, but that's already been announced.
Yeah, like the announcement of the Dreamcast games coming to PSN and Xbox Live is pretty big, and I'm pretty sure that if more than anything, Shenmue will probably be in that list because it sold really well for its time, and you know, as far as critically acclaimed as it was, it didn't sell as good as it should, and you know, the re-release of this on Dreamcast, along with other great Dreamcast games, may encourage, you know, if people to rebuy it and like make, you know, another good sale on these games, to encourage maybe some company to look at it and say, maybe we should make another sequel to one of these games, like Shenmue, because like for the longest time we never ever got a sequel to Shenmue 2. But yeah, like one of the, you know, the biggest things I think will probably be there is Gears of War 3. I think that's probably one of the biggest. I mean, I can like prediction wise, I can tell you it's going to be there, no doubt about it, because like it's one of their, this is the Gears of War 3 trailer. I think they're going to show more of gameplay or just a new freshly trailer. The game's not coming out for another year, but I guarantee you they're going to show something to that matter.
Yeah, the gameplay demo for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 last E3 was excellent, and ever since I saw that, I was just waiting for it to come out, and I picked it up immediately. For Gears of War 3, there's already been a huge cover story on it by Game Informer, and now I've read it, and now I just want to see the game in action.
Yeah, I want to see the grizzled Dom. The beard has grown. Actually, I think in some sort of fashion, all the members have gotten a bit of a beard. But you know, with the addition of the female character, what's her name? The pilot that was
Anya.
Yeah, Anya. So, seeing now a female character added in for 5 possible players, or how they would, you know, shape it. Yeah, I really do want to see some gameplay. It's been a long time coming, but yes, give me some Gears of War 3. So,
I got nothing.
you got none? So.
Nah.
So like, as far as like anything else, like what games do you think might be a big surprise or might surprise everyone and show up?
Metal Gear Rising has already been announced and everything, but I want to see gameplay for that too.
Yeah. It was funny. Thanks to Microsoft, the box art was actually was on Xbox Live. I wanted the, you know, spotlight of games that are going to be E3, and they weren't supposed to put it up, but it did. You know, people who did see it it was like pretty much indication that it's going to be there at E3, and they took it down like on the day they did it. And it I'm hoping, because I wrote a story on this, and I'm hoping that when they do show it, that it's not gonna suck like it did with the time we played with Raiden with Metal Gear Solid 2, because there were tons of people who were like complaining, and like the whole controversy of like, you played Solid Snake for like 5-10 minutes and then you play this guy that is like completely different and not Snake, and people were upset about it and didn't like how you had to play this little pansy ass ninja.
Oh look, it's a scene ninja. Great. Next he's gonna start cutting himself with his sword.
Yeah, going from Metal Gear Solid 1, where people were introduced or reintroduced to Solid Snake, and jumping right into 2, where you only play him just for the tank mission. Like, at first I did not like Raiden at all until probably about halfway through the game, and he kind of grew on me. And, now it seems like it's okay for us to get into Raiden again and seeing what he's going to do, and why there's going to be a new game and why he's going to be the hero.
Yeah, because this time around, like, he's coming off of Metal Gear Solid 4, and in MGS4 he was a complete badass, the opposite of what he was in MGS2, and just completely just like do these awesome ninja moves, and like have this awesome suit that he wears, and like take down like 2 Metal Gears within one fatal swipe. Like he's pretty badass. So it's gonna be a little more enjoyable to play with him this time around than last time.
Yeah, secretly, like, we've all wanted to play as Gray Fox at one point or another, and we kind of got that when we got the katana in Metal Gear Solid 2, and now I guess we can expand on that and do more with that concept.
As long as he doesn't play like a ninja monkey on crack.
Hurt me more.
Yeah. I have
No comment.
Yeah. Actually, thinking about it, this is a long rumor that, like, I'm pretty sure it's been shot down over and over again. But with the fact that Raiden is going to be coming to 360, and how Metal Gear Solid has always been a Sony product and always been on the PS3, PS2, PS1. There's some talk that it's an old rumor, but like, do you think maybe that finally we'll see a port of Metal Gear Solid 4 to the 360? It's an old rumor that got shot down multiple times by Hideo Kojima, but it kind of makes us wonder, just for the fact it's Metal Gear Solid 4 spin-off on Raiden, but like, it makes you wonder, like, maybe this time around, maybe that'd be one of the big surprises this year at E3.
Personally, I think Metal Gear Solid 4 is a little too old to just say that it's going to be ported down to 360 now. Like, anyone who's wanted to play it has probably already played it or seen it at least, and now it's time to look towards a new game, and that's what Rising is all about.
That is true. Yeah.
Xbox 720 downloadable content.
That would be pretty funny.
When we've all got like 50 megabit connections, that's when it'll get to the Xbox.
Yeah. Yeah. I think maybe I'm trying to think, like, as far as like games that I would love to see. I think I wish Valve can announce Half-Life 2 Episode 3 at Microsoft press conference. But it's just they put out an email like recently saying that Portal 2 is gonna be delayed until next year, and it won't be there at E3. Or you might be in some sort of fashion, but it has a big surprise that everybody's kind of wondering about. I mean, I wish for Half-Life, but my gut instinct is going to happen is that Valve is going to announce Counter-Strike 2. I think it's time for another Counter-Strike, and it's been a long time, especially with the achievements and updates they just recently put on Counter-Strike Source.
I think that's a little tame for a surprise.
It's a stretch, but it could happen.
It's a real stretch. Particularly for, like, the, viral community they're kind of trying to go for here.
Yeah.
It's like one of those things that's just like, well, maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't. Maybe it happened, maybe it won't. And then the one time it does happen, it's just like, oh, okay, sure, I guess I'll buy that. Maybe not.
Yeah, I mean, like, all we know is Valve has something special for E3, and, like, it's not Portal, or it could be, and it just, a double fake out. And it's not Half-Life 2, Episode 3, although it might be. We don't know. Some big surprise is going to happen at E3. If anything, they probably announced it on Microsoft press conference because they released the Orange Box on the Xbox 360, and they've been more than welcoming the Xbox 360 over PS3 as far as like putting their Half-Life series or their Team Fortress 2 series on the console, and always do good on the PC. But if anything, it'll probably be on Microsoft's press conference. But I'm hoping. Come on, Half-Life 2 Episode 3, please show.
I think if they're going to do any of this, they're going to kind of do it on their own. I don't think this is something that they would want to do at like a press conference where they're basically writing another company's coattails. Especially since they probably built up a lot from all the crap they've been doing with all the emails, like, oh no, it's canceled. Wink, wink.
Well, they didn't stop them from putting out a trailer for Left 4 Dead 2 last year. Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping, but I swear to God, if it's another Left 4 Dead this summer or this year, I'm pretty sure they're going to be just like attacked like by multiple fans this time around, and nothing will save them this time.
Yeah, they would do that. If anything, I would see them maybe, if this big surprise announcement has nothing to do with the other two, and it is something for Left 4 Dead, it's going to be something like a massive amount of downloadable content.
Yeah, or it could be the Left 4 Dead DLC, the passing for Left 4 Dead 1, and we get to see how Bill finally dies. Spoiler. So, we have to wait and see, but Valve was one of the things I'm really excited for and waiting for. I'm just hoping that the Microsoft press conference in general tomorrow doesn't veer off into, hey, your mom can play this game, or go into that casual side of the Xbox 360 like it did 2 years ago, or it's saying like your mom, your son, your cousin can play this game. It's an entertainment machine. It's like, I hope they don't go veer off in that direction, because last time they tried to do something like that, it didn't do well. The response was like, kind of what the fuck, or it was very, very quiet. So hopefully this time around, like, they can show some good games and some good announcements that that gets the core gamer as well as the casual gamer excited for 360.
I don't think they'll really be doing that. If anything, I would expect that they would probably be more toting some of the features they're adding into Xbox Live more than they would, like, ooh, your whole family can play this game.
Yeah. One of the things that they actually announced recently or rumored is that Hulu is going to be on it's going to be added alongside with Netflix for like a low service of like $10 a month to have it. So like it sounds like slowly Xbox 360 is becoming this entertainment machine where it's like not only does it play video games, but it can also watch movies and TV. Pretty much, it can replace your TV almost.
They have to do that too because versus being able to play Blu-ray, like they have to expand to all sorts of obscure kinds of things like that you wouldn't expect that your console would play, but it can.
I guess. I mean, I know Sony has their PSN store with their movie lineup, and Netflix joining them also with Nintendo. I mean, I guess I'm not quite sure. Like, I know that they're doing this for of course, money. But like, I mean, like it's a cool feature. I mean, like if it does happen, and it is add on Hulu, like Hulu. To me, as far as when I used to use it, like I would go on there and they would like show of course skipping the ads, all this free content, all this free TV series. No longer have to search other places to find it. It was all there. It was it was great. I mean, I still kind of use Hulu today, sort of, but like added on for a bit of a fee. You're talking. You're asking the person who wants to make their 360 more of an entertainment machine. You're asking not only do you want to charge from Netflix, but also Hulu on top of whatever plan you have 360 wise for your Xbox Live. So it's almost looking like you could possibly looking at what 20 plus on top of the Xbox Live service you're paying for. I mean, I don't know. I mean, like it's like it could work. It couldn't. Who knows?
They just have to go along with having really good service and speed among anything else. Like to rationalize paying $10 for it. Like personally, I'm not gonna get Hulu on my 360 just for that. But for the person that is gonna get it, hopefully it's gonna be worth it to them.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it in a way to where, say, Hulu can pretty much replace your TV, like, so, like you don't know. Looks like if Hulu was added to the Xbox 360, I think people may cancel their TV service and just go, straight with their Hulu. That would be their TV for the next how many years and how long the Xbox Live lasts. Because it already shows movies for for like a fee from Netflix. But now if it also shows TV shows that you would normally see on cable TV for a smaller price than you usually pay for, people are going to get on that. I think people will get on that, if they're going to going down that road.
Definitely.
Yep. But we'll have to see. Personally, would I get it? Not really. I mean, I got Netflix, and that's pretty much what I need. Hulu-wise, I got a computer. I can go online. I can watch it. But for some people, this is a great alternative than paying how much money per month for whatever cable service they have.
Yeah, if you got a computer and you don't really care about how comfortable you are sitting in a couch or an armchair or something, I might as well just go with the PC.
Yeah. So, let me see. You think you guys can think of any other games that you might want to see at Microsoft press conference, or possibly could show up as a surprise?
I don't know if this would. No, this is like a complete no chance in hell kind of thing. It's probably just as likely to be no chance in hell on Xbox than it is on PS3, but I would say Mega Man Legends 3.
Now that's
Fuck
a
you,
bit of a
Superman,
stretch.
Capcom.
That's a bit of a stretch. But
I'm not saying I expect it to happen, but if they did, they would have a lot more people trying to get it than they probably think they would.
yeah, but speaking of Japan, thanks for reminding me. I can predict that Dead Rising 2 will be there on X, like a trailer or some gameplay of some sort, and we'll see a release date from them. I can see that happening. I can see that happening, totally happening for tomorrow.
We start talking about DLC for like the what do they call it? Like card system formula, some kind of crap like that.
For
Dead Rising 2.
um, oh, that's right. Yeah, the DLC. They were talking about releasing that Dead Rising 2 DLC, kind of like a prequel connecting Dead Rising 1 to Dead Rising 2, and find out how Frank West is either whatever happened to him, dead, or I don't know, somewhere else. But yeah, I completely forgot about that. I think it's maybe both. Maybe they might show not only Dead Rising 2 footage, but like also like say when the DLC for that will drop. And I predict this year. I predict that. I think that DLC will drop this year. I can see that happening. If anything, in the fall. Okay. I think there's another big game that I'm pretty sure it's gonna be there. I mean, it was there last year. There's a beta that happened recently for it, and the 800-pound elephant we're talking about is Halo Reach. That's coming out this fall, and it's a Microsoft product. It's going to be there, guaranteed. They're going to show a trailer, or they're going to show some gameplay. I'm guessing trailer, because last time,
Probably both.
yeah, I can remember.
Gonna be there.
Yeah.
There's not really much to say. It's gonna be there. I'd be more impressed if they had some Mega Man Legends 3.
Yeah.
Halo's going to be there. You just know. There's no question of it. It's just there. The only question is if it's going to really be worth trying again.
That is true. I mean, like, I won't lie. I mean, like, when that Halo 3 trailer came out, like a year or two ago, I was excited as hell. I was listening to that at work. I turned that on YouTube, and I was like, just so excited. Having Halo Reach now, or as far as what we've seen, we'll probably, we'll see probably some more footage of story, probably some gameplay, in one trailer, and maybe it'll get me excited. Who knows? I mean, it's hard to see. I mean, like, Halo isn't as much of a big name as it used to be back in the day.
Well, I think it's kind of a return to form for them, because it kind of felt like they were stretching what they were trying to go for the last couple of games.
And that is true. I mean, like, this is the very, very last Halo game that they're ever going to be making, and you can tell they revamped the whole graphics. It looks more better. They redid the engine. They went and just overhauled the entire Halo game and made it to where they think it's acceptable, and also it looks awesome to us. Yeah, I mean, like, I think it's going to be there, and I think it's going to show, and it's it's Bungie. Like, as long as we knew Bungie, like, they've always put out great games with the Halo series, and also just great trailers in general.
Well, it's Bungie, but at the same time, it kind of felt like Halo 1 was fucking awesome. And then Halo 2 was good, but it kind of felt like it lost something, and then it kind of seemed to decline a little bit. It was still good, but it didn't really feel like necessarily it was better than the first. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to catch lightning in the bottle twice. As far as like as the video game formula wise.
Yeah, it kind of lost that charm along the way, and I think this is kind of like what Halo 1, if it were made now, would have been. Almost as if they had to remake it, this is how they would do it, to a degree.
Yeah, I can see that. They brought back the pistol. It's pretty much the Halo 1 pistol from in this later game. So it does look like it. Like I said, as if you're right. If they redid a true sequel to Halo 1, this would be it.
Well, spiritual success.
Yes.
This would technically be a prequel.
Yeah, that is true. And then we can finally end the Halo series. Of course, I know some company will pick it up and say, let's continue to make more Halo games. And the rest of us will be like, oh, we've been done with that game for about another 2-3 years. So, yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be a Halo RPG. Just wait.
Would that work?
Make that with the Covenant.
Would that
No,
work?
it would work with the Covenant. Dude, think about it. How many Covenant do they always throw at you, and then continue to throw more?
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't work on the human side, but with the Covenant, it would.
Yeah. I mean, I could see a game where it's prequel with the Covenant, and they're fighting they're fighting the Flood, and it's their backstory before Halo 1 and all that
Or
shit.
fighting each other.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, like as much of a Halo fan I even read the books. There is that part where they were actually fighting the Grunt Rebellion and how that went down, and how they kind of formed to be the Covenant. I mean, it could happen, but I don't know. I don't know. I mean, yeah.
Something like that, like a really big side story like that, is probably better suited for probably a feature film, not a feature film, but like a kind of like a short movie, short film, something like that, rather than putting a lot of time and a lot of money towards a whole game. Because if the main pitch is like, oh, you get to play as the Covenant, and then people are going to be like, oh, we kind of already did that in Halo 2, and it kind of sucked.
Yeah, I hear you. Okay. This would be the most crack.
Well, I don't
Oh, go ahead, sorry.
I don't think they necessarily fleshed out the Covenant as much as they should, because you know that they it's like they're kind of military-ish, with the they kind of seem like the Middle East to me. I don't know.
I hear you.
That's all I can think of.
They didn't flesh out the Covenant as much as they did with the human side. Even the times where they control, like say the Arbiter in Halo 2, and a little bit on Halo 3, like there isn't that much of a kind of their side of the story as there was to Master Chief and how they were fighting the Covenant.
Yeah, they never really fleshed it out enough for people to really care, except for those who are like, oh, I'm going to go on the other side and be dark and evil now.
Yeah, and then like if a few sympathetic ones that you felt sorry for. Yeah. But I have like the most crack theory prediction. I don't think it would ever happen. But if it did, I would laugh my ass off to Kingdom Come.
Bad Legends 3, dude.
That is true. Okay.
Whatever you have is probably more likely than Mega Man Legends 3. Once again, fuck you, Capcom Japan. Yeah.
Okay. So we've seen so one of the trailers that was put out before E3 was Duke Nukem Manhattan trailer, which it looks like crap. I mean, it's a side scroller. I give it maybe a chance, but the graphics just like N64 graphics on that trailer. And it's like, man, it looks so fucking awful. my crack theory prediction for Microsoft tomorrow. What if 3D Realms finally shows a gameplay footage and a new trailer for Duke Nukem Forever? Oh man, that is like the most crack theory that would like ever happen if it happened with Microsoft. Um,
Never mind. That really is more unlikely.
yeah,
If that ever happens, it's going to be like during the 2006 Sony conference when Kasurai was holding up Ridge Racer. Hey, you guys remember, Duke Nukem? Duke Nukem, yeah. No one applauded.
Oh man, that would be so funny.
Ridge Racer.
Oh man, hey, it's a crack theory. I don't think it would ever happen in hell, but you never know. I mean, 3D Realms is known to. I mean, when the company was bankrupt, so I don't think the game really is in production. Like they say, it still is, but I don't think it's even in production right now. But it'd be funny to see that though.
Man, at least like the creator of Mega Man wanted to do a Mega Man Legends 3, and he could probably do it if he could get funding. This is just like,
Yeah.
so many financial problems. People going bankrupt, problems with the IP or whatever.
Yeah. I won't be surprised is that because there was rumors that it's going to be there is we'll see like another Dead or Alive game that's past Itagaki, and it'll be shown in some form.
I'd be pleasantly surprised if that ever happened.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see how Team Ninja would make a game without their former head, as far as the Dead or Alive series, because every Dead or Alive series Itagaki had a hand in, and story-wise wasn't the greatest of all fighting games, but fighting games never had great stories in the first place. But the fighting in Dead or Alive was such a different formula than what other 3D fighting games had, like as far as like a Tekken or Soul Calibur had at the time.
Dead or Alive story?
Yes. Yeah, I know, but I do admit that I do miss the whole Dead or Alive series, and I'm hoping to see Dead or Alive 5 in some sort of fashion, either tomorrow at the Microsoft press conference or just in a booth somewhere. I mean, I'm kind of hoping. I miss the girls. I'll say it. I miss the girls.
It's possible.
Yeah.
I don't know how much help he had with the boob physics, but
Yeah.
Yeah, like there was like, what was it, like 2 physics for each boob, or what? Like how like each boob was supposed to bounce, supposedly, right? Yeah, no, Irigaki. But yeah, oh, actually, now because I'm looking at the screen right here in front of me. You think maybe we'll see a trailer or something on Assassin's Creed 3 this year's E3?
It would be too soon, to be honest.
yeah, I think that's a little early.
We just had Assassin's Creed 2 and some downloadable content for that, and Prince of Persia just came out, so that's too much exposure in that same gameplay style.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, like they did announce new DLC coming to Assassin's Creed 2. Was it like multiplayer DLC that's happening? I can't quite remember. Yeah, but
Wasn't that what they were doing with Bloodlines?
yeah, Bloodlines, yeah. So yep, you guys are probably right. I mean, maybe I'm just too much of an optimist to realize like it might show in some form, but you're probably right. If more than anything, they might just show more DLC or more footage of some new stuff coming to Assassin's Creed 2 if it happens to be there at the press conference. I maybe, who knows? I kind of say yes and I kind of say no to if they're going to show up or not.
Yeah, I don't really expect anything with DLC this time because, well, it's Ubisoft and they've kind of got all that on their plate. Like, there was Conviction and that took so goddamn long.
Yes.
I don't think they really have the resources to pull out for another big game.
Yeah.
I think if anything, we're just going to see like stuff for DLC that was pretty much on the cutting room floor that entire time, just because they didn't have the time to get it out the door.
That is true. Oh, but I just remember there is a game that I'm pretty sure will be there, and it makes sense because it's Cliffy B and not only Gears of War 3, but that might probably show some Bulletstorm. I wouldn't doubt that they show more another Bulletstorm footage, possibly a live on-stage demo. I mean, I would love to see that because the shit that's in that trailer is so badass. I mean, it's like if you put like Painkiller, and then you add the Unreal Engine 3, and then you add like you add Modern Warfare 2 into one game, you get this fast paced first person shooter action that is like on steroids. And I'm hoping to see something. Maybe I'm pretty sure it'll be there in some sort of fashion if they show footage or they show gameplay of it. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, Gears of War 3 and Bulletstorm, yeah, sign me up.
Yeah, I like the idea, but I think it kind of needs more variety.
More to see, huh? Yeah. We can go on and on. I mean, I'm trying to think, like, if there's any other games that can possibly be there. Possibly. Or, like, be some sort of huge announcement that would, like, blow the shit off every press conference and, like, just own E3.
You know, they're probably going to have the Marvel vs. Capcom 3 on there.
Oh, yes. Oh. Dude, oh man, I know it's gonna be there, and there's gameplay footage of that shit. I'm just gonna be, oh.
Clean off your keyboard, man.
I'm pretty sure if you guys listened to me in the last podcast, I have such a huge hard on for a Marvel vs. Capcom series, and if there's some footage, some gameplay footage of that at Microsoft press conference, oh man, I doubt it though, but like, I'm just like, if they do, I think I might have to change pants just for the sake of, watching E3. or wear like another layer of clothing underneath. Yeah. Yeah, I think yeah, but it was funny is like, talking about Microsoft press conferences, like I'm sure we'll talk about tomorrow about Sony and Nintendo's press conference predictions, but do you think maybe that Microsoft third parties are going to attend more to Microsoft's side, lately to their side, or to Sony's side? Because it feels like right now Sony has retained all those third party developers that used to not like the whole lineup Sony used to have, but now has grown such a big lineup that Microsoft seems to be in trouble as far as like what third party companies are making for them, as far as between them and Sony.
Sony's kind of had problems up until last year and this year in terms of having a really good showing for E3, and this is pretty much the second wave. This is pretty much the second wave of what's going to happen, and Microsoft might have some trouble, but they'll probably just have to rely on their standbys pretty much.
Yeah, it's gonna get interesting for this next couple of years, or at least next year or two. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say, but like as far as like if you really want to get into the whole console war battlefront, like I think right now it's a. I mean, aside from Nintendo, Wii, dominating the charts. Even them are starting to, go lower in sales. But between Sony and Microsoft, I think they're about even at this point. Or maybe Microsoft has a bit more head lead. No, take that back. No, at this point, Sony probably has a bit of a lead over Microsoft for the great library of games they have now than they used to have back then. Or who knows? It could be an even front, but it's going to get interesting for the next 1 or 2 years.
Well, I feel that Sony kind of has a little bit more originality with their ideas. I mean, not necessarily like saying they're the most original company, but
yeah,
it's like you see a lot of the Xbox 360 games, and they're kind of, it's like the same 3 genres over and over and over again.
Right.
Which I'm sure Sony does still do to some degree, but it's like, even if they do have those ones that are locked into those genres, like their general racing game, their general first-person shooter game, their general adventure game, blah, 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 there's generally something still that's got more of an original flair to it.
Yeah.
Or maybe something that you wouldn't necessarily expect out of their console.
Yeah, I hear you. It's going to be interesting. Like I said, it's 1 or 2 years. We'll have this discussion again, and like we'll say like, we were right or we were wrong. And then if we were wrong, we would be like, man, we were so fucking wrong. We were smoking on something. But all right, so I think we'll close out with what possibly could Microsoft do to disappoint us tomorrow? What if there was anything that would happen tomorrow during the press conference, what would really disappoint you in as far as what they would show or what they would do, in your opinions?
A 30-minute speech from another guy just like, was it James Cameron last year?
Oh, God, yeah, dude. I remember that. Oh, yeah, that would be a huge letdown, yeah.
I remember I was watching that live, and I think eventually I got so bored that I just went and did something else. I can't even remember what it was, for like 10 or 20 minutes, probably took a shower, came back, guy's still talking.
Yeah, like that. Like I was expecting to see like some footage of the movie or something, but he was explaining the whole movie pretty much before it even came out. And like I went and did something else, and I came back and he was still talking. Man, I'm pretty sure you and I and everybody else had the same complaint when that happened.
He could have just said it was just a modern day Pocahontas and left it at that. But yeah. If they're going to have someone coming up and speaking, they have to be really tied to Microsoft or whatever game that they're promoting. And game, not a movie. Game, please. Just a game. And, just stick with that. And don't have someone up there that isn't real.
We weren't talking about a game. It's just we didn't really care because it was a movie, so we don't give a fuck about the game movie.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, I wish Microsoft doesn't put out the cliche past several years of, oh, hey, the new celebrity coming out, and explaining how why Xbox 360 is great, or bringing out an athlete to play somebody in the new Madden game. It's uh, enough with the celebrities. One or two are fine, but enough with the celebrity shit. We don't. This isn't MTV. Although they're airing the Natal conference on MTV Tuesday, but this is not MTV.
That says something.
Yeah, this like yeah, like as much money as Microsoft has, they don't need celebrity status to really up their console to say it's great. Yeah, I think for me, like I think um if it was to really disappoint me that if they really go heavy on the Natal and they don't answer enough to the core as far as games wise, um, I would be disappointed in that. I would not look forward. I mean, like there are still games coming out 360 I would like to get, but it would be a disappointment as far as like they show that and try and get me excited for this fall or what's coming up next. But if they really went in this whole heavy route and they show off pretty much the games are going to be like, fucking Nintendo Wii ripoffs and just be like another round of, oh, hey, you can bowl, and look how good these graphics look and look how the family's, doing. I would seriously be turned off about it. I would not like how that would be put out there in the Microsoft press conference.
Yeah, it really feels like now all the companies need to start taking a big push towards actually, like the last year's conferences, they were all very kind of almost like, why the fuck are you here?
Yeah, it kind of had, yeah.
Yeah, they need more like energy and focus towards things that really matter, the actual games. Actually make this shit fun, give us reason to actually buy your product and not just random hype.
Yeah.
Just do it. This is why you are here.
Definitely. More importantly, the E3 should be more about games than it should be about tech. Ironically, this would be the year that all three big companies will be showing some sort of new tech in some sort of fashion. I cannot wait to predict tomorrow for Sony and Nintendo's press conference. Are we going to see another fucking attachment for Nintendo that can attach to anywhere on your body and detect how you're feeling?
It's another thing I'm not going to buy.
That's Nintendo's death rattle for their next peripheral.
It's gonna be funny, but oh man, yeah. I'm gonna hold my thoughts for that until tomorrow. But okay, so Alex, you're the last, you're last one to close out. What could possibly Microsoft do to disappoint you for tomorrow's E3 press conference?
I've pretty much said it already. You want something else?
Well, I mean, well, if that's your argument, then we'll go with that. Yeah.
Oh, I can come up with more stuff. I can.
Okay. Shoot for the stars. Go for it.
Here we go. I would say more peripherals for Natal than anything that would actually work as normal.
Okay.
Because that's what I've been saying the entire time. It kind of feels like PlayStation has a bit of an edge because it actually has, like, nunchuck-ish things. So it kind of has a little bit more... It has more of that depth. So now it's the tall, and now how they're getting the Dreamcast stuff. If you've got to, like, buy a light gun, that's basically for Natal in order for you to play any kind of, like, Dreamcast light gun game. That's
Okay. I hear you. I hear you loud and clear.
Just any more unneeded tech is worthless.
Yeah. Yep. Less tech, more games. Or at least if you can show us new tech, make sure it works, or get us excited for it in some sort of fashion.
Yeah, no more gimmicks, please.
Yeah.
The call even feels like that enough.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does feel like a gimmick, but we have to wait and see. I mean, like, hopefully they'll show something that makes us excited for it, other than fucking mini games. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But, just please do something right. And with that, you can yeah. Pretty much with that, you can follow us on the website as we cover news stories and game trailers on missionstartpodcast.weebly.com. I'll be live tweeting when the event happens tomorrow. I'm not sure if anybody else would follow me, but if you happen to follow me, you can follow me on Twitter / Defective Naruto. And I'll be tweeting probably in the morning too. So, and more than anything, new trailers, new gameplay, new stories will probably be up tomorrow. If it's like anything else with every other company right now, E3 is gonna be fucking insane for this week. Check us out on iTunes, yada yada. We'll try to get another episode tomorrow as far as like Sony and Nintendo prediction wise. I'm not making any promises, but we'll work something out. Yeah. Anything you want to say, guys, before we sign off on this short E3 episode special?
I'll definitely try to blog on at least one thing for each press conference, and I'll be putting it on my website, 9999hitpoints.wordpress.com. Be sure to check that out.
Cool. I swear, like every. No, I swear, Alex. Like every time you sign out, it's not going to be a catchphrase. Pretty soon.
How is a catchphrase?
Because you said it right for the past 2-3 podcasts, and it's becoming consistent, which is good. I mean, it's not bad, but it's just something that can attach to you in some sort of way. Did I just kill you?
No.
Okay.
I'm still going, how the fuck is that a catchphrase? Everyone says eh.
Yeah. But aside from the anything you want to say before we sign off?
Please. Actual games.
I hear that. Alright.
A little chunk is fine. Like maybe 15 minutes. That is good. No more.
Yeah. Definitely. And with that, we will see you tomorrow. And be sure to check out the website. And yep, E3 is here. We're excited. Bye-bye.